It's almost fall here where I live, and I have trees close to my property. And I don't want every pool day to start off looking like this, skimming leaves and debris off the surface of my water. And the only way to accomplish that is with an automatic pool skimmer. So let's check out the F1 robotic skimmer by Wybot. All right, let's open this thing up and see what we get. The packaging is very nice, as I anticipated. Everything is very well padded. So there's nothing to actually assemble with this robot. It's completely assembled and ready to go right out of the box. So what you end up with is the robot skimmer itself, a retrieval hook in order to pull it over to the edge of the pool if you need to pull it out. You get a quick start guide, and you also get a full instruction manual. I feel like the F1 is solid and very well constructed. It's actually a little heavier than I thought it would be, but we're gonna see how it floats in the water and does its job. Some of the features here are this front basket here, which has a very fine mesh screen and should trap everything. It's easy to clean, you just pop it out, rinse it off with a hose, and when you're done, you just pop it right back in. It's that simple. It has rubber wheels all the way around it so that when it bumps into your liner, it won't do any damage in order to turn itself around. It has jets in the rear and in the front sides here so that it can maneuver itself around and make turns and go through different patterns. On the top here, you'll find a power button, a charging port, and an LED light that'll give you a status of what it's doing at all times. And the most important feature of the F1 is the entire top of this thing is a 33-watt solar panel that charges this robot so that it's completely independent of cords. So even though the F1 is solar powered, there's gonna be days where you don't have much sun, or like right now where I wanna make this thing do a quick test run and it's not charged because it hasn't been sitting out very long. I was kind of surprised that Wybot didn't include this in the package, but for the test review, they did send me this separately in a separate delivery, was the charging adapter that can plug into your wall and plug into that charging port I told you about. And I think it takes about 2 to 3 hours to give this thing a full charge. Kind of disappointing it doesn't come with that, and for somebody that wants to pick this up separately, it's on their website, and I think it's about $20 extra. So in order for me to do this review, I'm gonna have to plug mine in for a little bit to give it a charge before I put it in the water. Charging this thing is pretty simple. Basically just plug it into the wall, plug in the adapter. And then you'll see a light there letting you know what the status is. So you might be thinking, why do I need a robot skimmer when my pool already comes with a skimmer built in? Well, if you have a lot of debris in your pool, then your skimmer basket can get clogged up and suffocate your pump, and then your pump's not gonna operate correctly. The other thing is, your skimmer only works when your pump is running, and typically people only have their pumps running for about 6 to 8 hours a day. All the rest of those hours, your pool is getting leaves and debris in it, and this skimmer can run whenever it needs to. So one thing I've learned in the past from doing a previous skimmer robot review is because my pool is round and I've got a really strong circular current, I actually have to turn off my pump in order to run this thing because the robot itself is not powerful enough to fight against that circular current to do its little back and forth patterns. This isn't a big deal because I'll usually like to run my skimmer either early in the morning or late in the evening when my pump isn't running anyway. All right, now that we're fully charged, it's time to put this thing in the water and see what it can actually do. But before we do that, and this is the best part about the Wybot series, is this thing is actually controlled by an app on your phone. And what I mean by that is you can log into an app and tell this thing what mode you want it to be in, and it even lets you remotely control it so that you can go into a specific area and grab some debris that it's not getting on its own, or to have it dock itself so that you can retrieve it. So let's get that set up first. So you'll have to go into your phone's app store and download the Wybot app. Once you do that and set up an account, you'll be able to look for the device that you're trying to set up. For this one, it's the F1 skimmer. Once you get that thing selected and get logged into your Wi-Fi network and connected to Bluetooth and whatever else it needs, you'll be able to then go into the device and start telling it what you want it to do. So there's two different modes for this thing. There's smart mode, which means it'll run for about 10 or 15 minutes at a time and then take a break and then run for another 10 or 15 minutes. What that does is it allows for the solar panel to continuously charge so that this thing can run almost all day long as the sun is out. The other mode is called standard mode, and what that'll do is it'll run until basically the battery just dies, and then it'll park itself and let it charge and start back up again once it charges. All right, now that my app is all set up and we're ready to go, basically just hold the power button down until you see the blue light come on. And when that blue light is solid, you're ready to drop it in. So after running for a couple of hours completely by itself in my pool, the F1 has managed to dock itself right here next to my ladder, which is pretty convenient. Now, if it doesn't dock itself where you want it to, you could either use the hook that comes with it, you can use the park feature on the app, or you can use the app with a remote control and drive it to where you want. So let's get this thing out of the water and see what kind of debris it picked up. To clean the basket, you basically just take off the cover, dump out whatever debris is in there, and then give it a quick hosing, and you're good to go. Another great little feature that I forgot to mention is in the basket there is a trap door that actually floats and keeps debris from coming back out once it's been trapped inside there. So once everything gets scooped up, you don't have to worry about it getting released back into the pool. So in my honest opinion, I think that the F1 is definitely a go-to for somebody who wants to get themselves a robot pool skimmer. This thing performed exactly the way it said it was going to. It's very well made and it's very easy to figure out and to use on a daily basis. I think it's currently selling for about $300 on their website right now, and I'll leave some links below in my description for you to get one for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys.